Hello everyone. Now we'll discuss the topic the typical embedded system. The typical embedded system actually contains a single chip controller which acts as a master brain of a system. So it will be going to perform the a main operation. It's like our brain. Okay, let us will discuss in detail what are the different kind of the system core or will be using in our embedded system. This the diagram is shown here in the slide. It has system core. It will be having the input port, output ports, that is called as actuator, memory, communication interface, and some other supporting integrated circuit. And main thing, the embedded system has to be work specific task. The embedded firmware is essentially required. That also I am shown in the typical embedded system diagram. So here in the control core or a system core, what are the different kind of the system cores are maybe using in the embedded system. So let us listed some of the core which have been using in embedded system. Here microprocessor example is the 8085. It is an 8-bit microprocessor. And another microcontroller example is shown in the bracket, Atmel 808951, that is 8051 microcontroller. It is also an 8-bit microcontroller. And another, it may be in the embedded system may be use a field programmable gate array, FPGA, short name FPGA. And another one is the digital signal processor, DSP. And another one more on application specific integrated circuit, ASIC. And one more is the application specific standard product, ASSP. So these are the main important core are available in market for design of the embedded system. Embedded hardware or software system are basically designed to regulate the physical variable or to manipulate the state of some devices. So that means what input in an embedded system, it takes the physically available variable and it convert into a required output or a manipulate or process that input variable into a required application specific outputs. Okay, so that is the purpose or intended for the design of the hardware and software is basically is using. So here sending some control signals to the actuator, that is the output. It is our device connected to the output port of the system. In response to the output will be getting with in response to the input signal provided by the end user of sensors which are connected to the input port. Hence an embedded system can be viewed as a reactive system. So what is embedded system actually does, it like a reactive. What is you are giving the input, with response to that input it will be provide the so result or a output we will be get. So here some of the example of the input devices, you know that keyboard, push button maybe, or joystick, some other devices like pen, etc. And output commonly used output devices are the LED, LCD display, LED display, and piezoelectric buzzers, etc. So these all are some of the example of input and output devices of the embedded system. And in the embedded system, main important one more part is the memory. Memory actually is responsible for holding the control algorithm. Okay, and also it is on a very important configuration for the detail. Okay, configuration detail. So this are the designing of the embedded system requirement. So next, let me discuss the core of the embedded system. Already told the some of the list in the previous slide. You have shown microprocessor, microcontroller, digital processor. All this, some of the core are available. That all are core of the embedded system will be with the specific application will be made for it is designed. You can use that particular core of course. Okay, so here some of the list categories are given. Let us go through it. First category is the general purpose and domain specific processors. General purpose and specific domain processors. The core are microprocessor, it may be microcontroller, or it may be digital signal processor, or may be use. Second category is application specific integrated circuit, programmable logic device, commercial of the shelf component. So these are the some categories of core. Let we discuss one by one in detail. In the next slide, let us see general purpose and domain specific processor. Almost whatever in market embedded system are available, the 80% of the embedded system which uses the processor or controller. Okay, that completely the embedded system 80% of the devices in our market available is based on the microcontroller or a microprocessor. Okay, for example, microcontroller and DSP, digital signal processor, depending on the domain and applications. Next is the microprocessor. Let us will discuss in detail the different core what we have mentioned. Okay, in detail. First, let us take the core microprocessor. What is a microprocessor? A microprocessor is a silicon chip representing a central processing unit. It is the microprocessor is a CPU, which is capable of what it is going to perform. It is capable of performing arithmetic as well as logic operations. Okay, and the CPU contains the ALU control unit and working some general purpose registers. Okay, main important part of the microprocessor are ALU control unit and general purpose working registers. And then microprocessor is a dependent unit and it requires the combination of other hardware like memory, timer unit, and interrupt controller, etc. So microprocessor, the core, what it is actually, it is a dependent processor of the some other externally required devices like memory as required, timer and interrupt controller, which are not available in the microprocessor. You need to be connect externally to this memory, microprocessor to work given specific task. So this is about the microprocessor. So here in this slide mentioned the some of the microprocessor name and when it was launched, the detail year and company name and processor, what is the processor IC number that is mentioned in the slide. Just you go through it. Okay, if possible you remember these things. Okay, next slide. This also same thing you can read out. And next second core of the system core is microcontroller. Then what is a microcontroller? Microcontroller is a highly integrated chip that contains CPU, memory, that is a scratch pad, RAM. Scratch pad RAM in the sense we can write and readable possible. Special and general purpose register array, on chip RAM, flash memory for program storage, timer and interrupt control units and dedicated IO ports. So here, observe here. In the microprocessor, only processor will be there, but you need to be connect memory externally, and you need to be connect the timer, you need to be connect the dedicated IO ports like that. But in the microcontroller, it is a sophisticated way, highly integrated chip that contains inside of the chip all this what I have mentioned, all these parts is inside the fabricated, that is RAM, memory, read and write memory, and permanent flash memory. Timer will be inside, internally it is fabricated, and IO ports also. Okay, this is the what is the microcontroller. In the microcontroller, it is a single chip. In a single chip, all the things is been fabricated. Okay, next microcontroller can be considered as a superset of microprocessor. A microcontroller contain all the necessary functional blocks for independent working. So microcontroller is an independent working. It is not dependent on any external memory or need to be connect IO ports like that. It is totally inbuilt. Okay, so that's why it is an independent working core. It is. They found greater place in the embedded domain in place of microprocessor. Okay, they are cheap. Yes, of course, it is a cheap cost and effective, are readily available in the market. Okay, so this is the about the microcontroller definition. And here also I mentioned the some of the microcontroller example when it was launched and family as given in detail. This slide, you go through it once, read it out and remember if possible. Okay, then here also the same thing, 8051 8-bit microcontroller, the detail will be given. Okay, so next we'll discuss after knowing the definition of the microprocessor and microcontroller, then we'll be elaborately discuss what are the differences between the microcontroller and microprocessor. Okay, microprocessor generally does not have RAM and IO pins. I already we have said. Okay, in the microcontroller, these all the parts fabricated in a chip. Okay, that is the difference. Microprocessor usually use it pins as a bus to interface to a RAM and peripheral device. Hence, the controlling bus is expandable at the board level, because we have need to connect extra chip to the suppose you take the memory chip, you need to be connect extra chip to the microprocessor. Okay, through pins. And in the microcontroller, not necessary. Okay, controlling bus is internal and not available to the board. It will be internally fabricated. It will be available in the same single chip inside of the microcontroller. Okay, that is the difference. Then microprocessors are generally capable of being built into a bigger general purpose application. Okay, it is particularly applicable for general purpose applications. In microcontroller are usually used for the more dedicated application, that is a particular specific application, specific task purpose this microcontroller will be using. Next is the difference. Microprocessor generally do not have power saving system, that means it is takes more power consumption than the microcontroller. In the microcontroller, less power consumption and power saving mode also available, so that is the one difference. The overall cost of the system made with the microprocessor is high because of the high number of external component required. So if you need a memory, you need to be extra buy and connect to the externally to the microprocessor, that will be takes more cost, that is the economically it is a high. In microcontroller, not that case, it is a cheaper, I already said. So that is the difference of this microprocessor and microcontroller. Next one is the difference. Processing speed of the general microprocessor is above 1 gigahertz, so it works much faster than the microcontroller. The speed of the frequency of the clock frequency in microprocessor is very high frequency compared to the microcontroller. So in the microcontroller it is of about 8 megahertz to 50 megahertz of frequency clock will be using. And another one last difference of the is the microprocessor are based on von Neumann model. So von Neumann model architecture will be using in the microprocessor, and in the microcontroller are based on the hardware architecture. Von Neumann in the sense the data memory and code memory will be using the same bus, but in the hardware memory, hardware architecture, it's separate. Our data memory and code memory, which is having the separate. Okay, that is the differences of the microprocessor and then microcontroller. Okay. So let us stop it here. We'll discuss the next topic in the next video session. Okay, thank you.